everybody has their demonstration paper. So for the title, everybody's gonna write Upstyle 1. So it's Upstyle 1. Okay? So everybody can see. The supplies you're going to need a vent brush. Everybody remembers what a vent brush looks like, correct? You're going to need your standard comb. You will notice we use these in a lot of our upstyles, in a lot of our daily styling. You're going to want a rat tail teasing comb. Okay, can everybody see? You're going to want a smoothing pick comb. So it's a smoothing, I call it a teasing comb, but you can call it a pick comb. It has your metal 5 prongs on the end so that everybody can see which one it is. So when you go in dispensary, you make sure you grab the correct one. You're going to need aerosol hairspray. Okay, so a can of aerosol hairspray. You're going to need bobby pins. Bobby pins have different colors. You want to try to get the bobby pin that matches your client's hair the best, so it blends in, that you don't see it. It comes in silver, bronze, blonde, and black. You can, however, spray paint them. You can make it any color, because there's a lot of fashion colors out on the market today. There's a lot of people that have multicolor, like I have 2 different colors in my hair. So if I wanted the pieces that are blonde and I'm piecing that in, I would put a blonde one in. If I had pink in my hair or purple, you could spray paint them. Obviously, you want to do it prior to your client coming in. You don't want to spray paint it and then stick it in your client's hair, because then now you have spray painted your client's hair. So you want to make sure you don't do that. And you guys laugh, but it has probably happened somewhere at some point. So, you know, there's always a reason why people say things, because it's happened. You also want to get, and the bobby pins will be in a box labeled bobby pins. And it will also be in containers in the dispensary listed bobby pins. So you'll be able to tell where they are. Your hairpins are the same size as your bobby pins, and they also come in multiple colors. So you're going to need some hairpins. You don't need a whole lot, because what happens is, I don't know if anybody saw the other day on the top of the cart, there was a handful of bobby pins left. So what happens? We have to throw them away. And it breaks my heart to get rid of stuff. I don't like to have to get rid of things that I know the students can use. So just take a few, maybe like 4 or 5, 6 maybe. That way you're covered. Okay, because we do drop stuff. Everybody's fingers get a little nervous when you're doing something, or you're frustrated and it slips out of your hand. So, you know, take enough that you'll have it. The best part, I'm going to give you a little bit of history of your bobby pins real quick. You don't have to write this down. I printed it out for you. If you notice, bobby pins started way back. Okay, that's how women started to hold their hair. It was easy for them to use them to hold their hairstyle all day. Does anybody know what the flapper era was? What is it, Braylon?
Oh, I know, I just forget. We're learning about it in history right now. Yeah,
okay.
In the 20s.
And they wore the fancy flapper dresses, and they had the hats. They always had that sleek bob, and it was rolled underneath towards their face and towards their neck. And they would use them with bobby pins. They would place the bobby pins in to hold the hair. And they would last, and it became so easy that it became a very, very utilized tool throughout. And then it just continued. And then now we know that the bobby pins, if you notice, they have ridges on the top of the bobby pin. Okay, can everybody see that the bottom is smooth, the top part is the ridges? You can lock them together. So every time you use a bobby pin, it's going to have a brother or sister with it. And you're going to crisscross them. So if everybody can draw a picture of what a crisscross would look like for your bobby pins. because you're gonna lock them together. That helps hold your style without needing multiple bobby pins. Right, okay? You sure? Anybody see? Can everybody see what they look like? Yeah? So we're gonna crisscross them. So when we do that, there's an opening and you just put it in and it's crisscrossed. So this will hold the same grip as 10 bobby pins. If you crisscross them properly, you don't need a ton of bobby pins to hold the hairstyle in place. Yes?
You crisscross them in the middle or at the end, or just like make a V?
You just want to crisscross. As long as those ridges, I mean, you can crisscross it here because it locks. You can crisscross it in the middle because it locks. You're gonna have one in the center of the head and you're gonna come in and crisscross it against. So as long as they're connected, they'll lock. And you'll know if you don't, like if you have it on the very end, it's not gonna lock. So, but that's a very good question. Does anybody else have any questions on the bobby pins yet? No? Everybody good? Okay. So, we're also going to need a rubber band. Why do we need a rubber band? Anybody have a guess? Megan?
Tie up the hair.
To hold the hair, to tie it up. But we're going to make this rubber band even fancier. So we are going to put a bobby pin on each side. Okay, so we have one on the outside. See it? One on the outside. Okay? We're now going to add on the opposite side, so you can dangle that bobby pin down. So on the opposite side, we're going to come in and we're going to put another bobby pin. So it looks like this. Okay? Now everybody thinks we're going to put the hair back with that gum band, rubber band. This is where magic comes in, and magic happens in our business. We're not going to use this as you would think we're going to use it. I'm going to surprise you guys. Anybody have any idea? Megan?
You're gonna put the bobby pin in and wrap it around.
Very good. She knows my magic trick. I got to find a new profession. You're going to put it in with the bobby pin, and you're going to wrap the rubber band around, and then you're going to lock the bobby pins in place. And that's going to hold your foundation for your Upstyle 1. Upstyle 1 will be performed, and this is extremely important. So write this down somewhere, because someone's not going to do it. It is to be performed on your long hair mannequin. Your long hair mannequin. So the one that you did your textured comb out on, this is the one that you're going to utilize. Okay? So we're going to use our long hair mannequin that you just did your textured comb out. Obviously, if you did not do your roller sets yet, or you did not do your comb outs yet, you have to finish those first, because all of these are building upon each other. So you will work on the stuff you need completed first and then work towards Upstyle 1. Okay? So the very first thing we're going to do, I'll give you guys a couple seconds. There's still some people writing. Anybody have any questions so far? I know I'm throwing a lot of info out there. That's why I printed out those bobby pin things that you can hold on to, because it's just a nice little bit of knowledge. The very first thing we're going to do is using my vent brush. Okay, my vent brush. I'm going to stand directly behind my client, and I'm just going to gently comb the hair into one section in the center of the head. Now this is a very simple Upstyle 1. We aren't teasing it today. You can, however, if you have a client coming in for an event or homecoming, or they're a bridesmaid in a wedding and they want some teasing up here, you can back comb, because we've learned that. But for this one, we're just taking it straight back. You can do a higher pony, a lower pony. For this one, we want to go in the center of the head. And I'm left-handed, so everything's going into my right hand, and I'm holding it. Once I get it back, I don't let it go, because if I let it go, I have to restart everything to get it back into where I want my foundation rubber bands to go, okay? Can everybody see how I'm brushing it back using my vent brush? Smoothing it out. Smoothness is very, very important. You do not want bumps. You want it nice and smooth. So I'm smoothing the hair back. Move my stuff out of the way. I am going to grab just a little bit of hairspray, very small amounts, because I have some flyaways. That helps secure those flyaways out of the hair. So I'm making sure it's nice and smooth. There's no bumps in the hair. Do you guys understand what I mean when I say bumpy, like lumps? Like if I would have it like that, I wouldn't want to put that back. Okay, client probably wouldn't be happy with it. And I use my mirror a lot to help, to make sure that I have it nice and smooth. I can see both sides and the top, and it's nice and smooth the whole way back. That's very important. That's one of the things that, you know, you guys will get used to doing, is smoothing it out, making sure that there's a nice foundation too as well. So remember, I'm not letting this go. I have it in my right hand because I'm left-handed. You guys will be opposite of me unless you're left-handed. And I'm going to take one end of my rubber band with the 2 bobby pins, and I'm going to do my magic trick. I'm going to put my bobby pin up against the scalp, and I'm going to insert it into the hair. Okay? Did everybody see that? So it's just hanging out inside of the hair. You can tell, see it's in there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap, still holding the hair tight, I'm going to wrap my gum band. You don't want to take it super tight because you don't want your gum band to break, but you want to make sure it's in there. And then you're going to crisscross right where the bobby pin is in the center. I'm going to take my second bobby pin that's still left, and I'm going to go in towards the scalp, and I'm going to crisscross it on the bobby pin so that I can feel the bobby pin lock. When I let go, this should stay in place. Yay, I didn't fail the demo. Okay, so that's the first thing. It's locked in place. If you have a little bit of flyaways, you want to cover your client's face. You want to shield it, and you want to spray away from the face just gently with some aerosol hairspray. And then I'm going to take my smoothing brush, and I'm just going to smooth that back in so those flyaways disappear. Do you see the difference now with the flyaways? They're under control. Now, coming underneath the very bottom of my ponytail, I'm going to grab a small section of hair. Okay, can everybody see? Small section of hair. What do you think I'm going to do with it? Dakota. I'm going to wrap it around to hide that rubber band, because we don't want to see that rubber band in our style. And I'm just going to keep wrapping it around, and then when I get to the very end, I'm going to use a bobby pin. Please, please, never ever use your mouth or your teeth to open a bobby pin. You laugh, but trust me, people do it. You don't want to put this in your mouth. You can push your finger so that your finger slides in to help open it. You can push it against your smock, because your smock should be sanitary to help you open it. You don't ever want to use your mouth, okay? I'm going to come in, and where that corner piece is on the top, like at the bottom where I took my wrapped it around the hair, I'm gonna pin it in place. So again, I'm going to go in and I'm gonna lock that hair in. So now that is covered, yes,
Do you crisscross it?
it's locked into those two that are there. Yep. You always wanna make sure you're locking your bobby pins. Next, you wanna try to wiggle. Please do not shake your client horribly. Just gently wiggle the ponytail to make sure it's in. This ponytail's not coming out. It's in there. Okay? You don't want to shake your client's head. You don't want to pull the hair. You just gently want to make sure your ponytail's in there. Because that's your foundation for your upstyle. Okay? The next thing you want to do. Oh, one more thing. I'm sorry. When you're removing this is a very, very nice way to easily remove these ponytail holders and the rubber bands out of the client's hair. They're not going to yank it down and cause friction on the hair shaft, which could in turn cause breakage. They are going to just go in and remove the bobby pin. Once you remove the bobby pin, it will unwind. So you just unwrap it. There's no friction on your client's hair. There's no friction. You won't cause frizziness. You won't cause damage. That's very important when you're doing upstyles and when you're keeping clients' hair. You don't ever want to cause damage to a client's hair. Now this next part's going to drive everybody crazy because it's going to look scary. And that's okay. You're going to take a small section of hair. Okay? So here's one. Now here's two. Here's 3, 4, and 5. Noticing they're all basically the same width of the section.
Miss Slater, please call extension 200.
So there's
Miss
5
Slater,
sections
please call
in the hair.
extension 200.
What you can do is this is where your hairpins come into play. You can take the hair and just stick that hairpin in the hair. That way you're not using a butterfly clip, because what happens if you use a butterfly clip? Let's get somebody that doesn't usually answer. Jessica, what happens to the hair?
It's gonna not look as smooth.
Right, it's tight. Right, very good. So it will clump your hair together because it's meant to hold your hair in place. Because it's a butterfly clamp, so it goes like this on the hair, right? That's where it gets the name butterfly, because it looks like butterfly wings. So when you put it on the hair, it closes, so all your smoothness now is going to go to whatever area you put that butterfly clip in. So utilizing a hairpin just holds it with enough tension that it doesn't mess up the smooth part, because if you mess this up, you have to start over, because you need to go in and re-smooth it. So now taking my bottom section first, I'm going to, obviously we can't tease at the scalp, we can't back comb there, but I'm going to hold the hair using my teasing brush, and I'm just going to start teasing the hair. And when you tease this hair, it should stand straight out. So you're just going to tease and tease and tease. So see, that's not moving. And I can see people's eyes twitching right now. It's going to look crazy. It's going to be frizzy. It's going to be big. That's when your smoothing comes into play at the end. So you just go through and you do every section of hair like that. And you just back comb it. You back comb it. Keep back combing it. And then I'm going to remove this hairpin very easily. That hair is going to be there, and you can tell that hair is not going to go anywhere, and I didn't mess up the front or sides part of my hair by removing the hairpin. So I'm just going to back comb, back comb. And what we want to do is once we do that, we're going to start with one of our sections, smoothing the bottom part of this hair piece. I'm not going to be on the top because I'm rolling the hair towards the head. So we're rolling towards, okay? When we did our roller sets, we rolled down. Now we're going towards the front of the client. So when we're standing behind, we're rolling this way, okay? Rolling towards. You can put that in quotation marks, underline it, make sure you're rolling the correct way, because that will have an impact on this style. I'm gonna smooth the underneath section, and I'm gonna use just a smidge of hairspray. You don't need a whole lot. So I take my piece. Now I'm going to grab an end of the hair. Everybody see? Grab an end of the hair. And I'm gonna roll the hair Do you see the difference on how smooth that is now compared to what it looked like? It was a little crazy looking, but now it's nice and smooth. I'm gonna take my bobby pin and I'm gonna come in, and remember, you have that bobby pin in there, crisscross. So I'm gonna take it, and right at the scalp, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna connect that bobby pin. I'm gonna come back on the opposite side using another bobby pin, and I'm gonna crisscross that. And the reason I'm doing that is because it's gonna secure the hair to the head on both sides, and it's gonna lock those bobby pins, which is gonna hold your style. So I can feel that bobby pin. I know it's locked. I'm good to go. If I don't like where it is, you can always slide it out a little bit and re-pin it. A little bit of spray. I'm gonna grab my next section. Same thing, I'm rolling towards the head. I'm gonna smooth out that bottom piece so that it's nice and smooth. Gonna roll it towards the head. Grabbing the end. If you want to get a little bit of grip, you can spritz the end of the hair just so you can have a better grip on it. And then you just roll it down. I'm gonna go in with my bobby pin. I'm gonna go one from the top and one from the bottom and crisscross. Does anybody have any questions on that? Gonna go in the top. I'm hiding my bobby pin so you can't see it. And I'm gonna come up now from the bottom, and I can feel with my fingers where that is, and I'm gonna crisscross it so that it's locked in place. Okay? Anybody have any questions so far? Gonna go to the sides. Now on the side, I'm not gonna do the underneath of the hair. I'm gonna do the top, and I'm gonna smooth it out real nice because I'm rolling it this way. I'm rolling it towards the client, so that bottom part's what needs to remain nice and smooth so that they don't see that. You want that back combing to be in there to give you volume. I'm going to come up underneath, and I'm going to place my bobby pin in. Then I'm going to come down from the top, and I'm going to crisscross to lock my bobby pin in place. You see how it kind of looks like a little bow? Now I'm going to do my bottom piece, and then I'm going to do my side piece. Now my bottom piece is a little bigger than the rest of it, so when I roll it, I'm going to kind of pull the edges a little bit just to bring in that gap so that we don't have a gap in here. You want to make sure it's nice and smooth. So I'm going to take it up, and I'm going to roll it up towards the scalp, and I'm rolling it towards the client. Okay? Again, my finger's holding it while I grab a bobby pin so it doesn't fall. And I'm going to go in, and I'm going to grab the hair, and then I'm going to come in on the other side and crisscross to lock my bobby pin in place. Okay? Now again, I'm not going to do the underside. I'm going to do the outside because I'm combing and bringing the hair from the back towards the client's face. So I want this top part to be smooth. I don't want where I backcombed. I want that to stay in there, but I want this part to be nice and smooth. Any questions so far? No? Are you guys excited to do your first updo? Yeah? So I'm gonna go in, holding my finger in place. I'm gonna come up from the bottom, locking that hair in, and then I'm gonna come on top, and I'm gonna crisscross to lock. If there's some flyaways, you can go in, you can smooth it. You can use your smoothing comb. Go in and smooth some areas out of the way. Just gently, nicely. You don't need to shellac the hair. A lot of people don't like their hair shellacked to where it doesn't move. And then the test that Mrs. Rosicki and myself will give you is if it falls out when you shake it.
She likes to dance.
So this,
Get down on the dance floor.
this is what your finished Upstyle 1 will look like. Okay? Your finished Upstyle 1. And then Mrs. Rosicki and myself do this. And we make her dance, and we make her headbang, and we make her rock and roll. And guess what? Her hair's still in place. Okay? We'll be shaking. We'll be doing a jig with your mannequin's hair to make sure that's locked in place with the bobby pins. And if you utilize the correct way of the bobby pins, which is to lock it, you will never need more than 10 to 15 bobby pins in a style. There is 8 bobby pins in this style right now. 8. That's it. Because I utilized what I already had in the back. Okay? Don't take a handful of bobby pins when you're putting the bobby pins back in. A lot of times your clients will come in and they'll say, here's my bobby pins from last time. You don't want them. You don't need them. Once you use a bobby pin, if you push it too far apart, it has now lost its ability to be locked in and it lost its shape. Okay? So these you just toss them away. Okay? Any questions? Alright guys, you just learned Upstyle 1.